Welcome to the Friends in Film podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give you insights into succeeding in the film industry that you will not hear about anywhere. Not in film school, not online, not even from the people on film sets. I teach you the art of building a career in a connection-based business. You've been through the awareness phase, you've been through the fascination phase, maybe you went to film school, but now it's time for the implementation phase, and that's what this is all about. Having an extraordinary successful career in the professional film industry. I have been on such a run with work. I've been going nonstop every week, like 2 jobs a week, 2 jobs a week, 2 jobs a week. And then my last job was last week. And now I've got nothing on my schedule. Nothing. Now I want to tell you this so that you're not like, oh my gosh, I've got nothing and feel shame about it. This happened last year too. I was like gangbusters, gangbusters. And you're like, you can't even believe, you're like, wait a minute, I don't have anything after this. And then in May, it was so busy. And then I think it was beginning of May or the start of May. And then May, I didn't work for like 3 weeks. So sometimes it's like this. I want to tell you this, okay? So that you're just like, okay, that's a business sometimes. Now, that's why I really like the bridge jobs in there, because they always, once they know you and you're on your list and then you're not available, and they're like, oh, I really want to, I love that person. They're great. And then you check in with them and you're like, hey, if something pops up next week, I'm available, then you might get on a couple shoots or a couple bridge jobs. And then you get that $300 coming in per day, which is so good. In LA, it's 400, it's 450. I mean, this pays really well. So in the bigger cities, it'll be even more. Of course, there's the smaller ones too. But anyway, you get a slow period. And during this slow period, I'm not reaching out to people. What I do instead is I will have my coffee rave, and I'll be inviting everybody to that. And I'll be creating an experience for these people. I have these regularly kind of scheduled things that I do that are touch points with people. And I think that that's really good because, they know about me. If they got jobs, then they'll call me. I'm giving something to them. So I do the Christmas candy. I actually talked to them to get their address in the end of October for the Christmas candy. Then they get the Christmas candy. And then I get a lot of thank yous. So that's another touch point. And then in May, I'm going to be doing the coffee rave. And then in July, August, I'll be doing the pool party. And then it'll be back to October. So if I do check in with people, it'll just be, hey, what's going on? Hey, what have you been up to? And I'll tell them about my event. I got this thing coming up. And then everybody's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm like, okay, I'll be sure to give you an invite. So I really like these events. And we actually had a call about events because which Maria's here, and Ibrahim did one in January. And we talked about it before they did it. And it was going to just initially, and she can share about this, it was initially just going to be a screening of their film. Because what I learned, you guys, was it's never about Janet and Joe's amazing pool party. That just makes people feel like, oh, I wish I had a house like that. I wish I had that. It's always about like, let's celebrate together the, industry party, celebrate, talk to each other, stay over if you want, and make it just like very, it's all about you guys. And I'll have executive producers that will get that invitation to say like my pool party. And they'll be like, I've never seen an invitation like that. I loved your invitation. That was amazing. It just really gives me the feel of like who you are and, what this event was going to be like. I'm like, oh, wow, that's great. That's what I was trying to do. Always all about them. Always, all the time, for now and forever. Every text, every email, everybody's like, I hope that shoot was good for you. Or, thank you so much for that shoot. That was amazing. How was it for you? Or it's always about them. Great job on that shoot. It went super smoothly. Every time I put in an invoice, I get the chance to talk to somebody. Think about what's important to production supervisors, managers. Well, they've set that whole thing up logistically, right? So if it goes smoothly, that's compliment. they've chosen the production assistants. So if you like the production assistants, then and you tell them that, they're like, "Oh wow, I did a good job there bringing in people." And so I'll often say, a great production assistant support on this one. There's just, I love so and so, I love so and so. They help me with this. I will always, if somebody helped me, I'll always call them out. This person rocked it. They'll always just go like, "Thank you so much. We love our team." They always say that because that really personally means something to them. I mean, I look at it like this way. Every single shoot is like a little present that they get to create and wrap and put together, and it's their baby. I mean, even though, they're working for a production company, it if they're in charge of it logistically, it's their baby. So I kind of remember that in the back of my mind when I'm communicating with people. The thing that I was thinking always was, I just want them to hire me again. Now, the perspective is, I want to knock this out of the park for them. Like whatever it is, we got to do outlines, we got to find location for that. I mean, a lot of this stuff is pain in the ass. Oh, this wasn't planned, but we got to make it that happen. Oh, now we're walking, we're moving all the way over there and doing something, and you know what I mean? It's like, oh, great, great, yeah, knock it out of the park. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So therefore, they can feel that off of everybody. And I think it's a really a great that will get you hired. Yeah, I thought that maybe we could hear from is John still here? Oh yeah, John. Yeah. Just because John about the mindset shift of want to get hired again versus I'm here to knock it out of the park, help the production knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I have, I think, fully graduated to a piece of advice that Jake gave, which is
Hmm.
not to stop trying, but the minute you stop trying too hard, things just start coming to you. There's definitely something to be said about letting it come to you and relaxing and, having a positive mindset. Yeah,
See,
being of,
that's amazing. He's saying not trying too hard to get things done instead. He's like not trying to get work so hard, just knowing that work comes to you. Yeah, because I'm always saying to you guys, don't try to convince. Don't try to make your business card so good. Don't try so hard. Don't make that email try so hard. Don't try to make your resume be like trying so hard. It comes across like that. And instead, it's just like, this is basically the elements of vectoring. I'm working with companies, working a lot. You probably want to work with me.
yeah, trying not to be abrasive, on and offset too. Because I've seen it. Now that I see other people doing it to me, I understand it a little better.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, that's so good point. Okay, now give me an example of that.
I launched a website with all of my, all the work I did on my short films, things I've done for set design, model making, all that stuff,
Uh-huh.
and that has been fantastic because people can click on it and know what I'm about immediately,
Yeah.
and know that I'm not just somebody who's trying to get on sets. Like I've actually done this before. It's a little more credibility. Normally, I would take a job like working a film event, but I got an invite to a party, and it was funny because everybody that I started coming up with was working the party, but I was a guest, if
What do you
that
mean they're
makes a
working the
difference.
party? How are they? Do you mean they put the party on?
They got hired and paid to hand out name badges, make sure people,
Oh,
were comfortable, had information, they were giving tours. And I got like an email invite with like a QR code that you had to scan to get a badge, and then you had to wear the badge when you were at the party, and you got to meet everybody.
oh wow.
And yeah, and I got to meet art directors and everybody, all I got to meet, production designers and health and safety people,
Who is
government
putting this party
officials.
on? Production
This
company?
was a production company party, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was funny because I have done things for different production companies, but they're far enough apart they don't really talk. But people from other projects came and knew me and wanted to talk, and we're like, all of a sudden there's a company. It's like, oh yeah, he's great. Like, do you know him? Like, oh my God, that's so weird.
About you.
Um, yeah, and that led to the people that I was, some of the new PAs that were coming in were reaching out to me, going, you know, like, hey, I heard you're the head of the art department. I'm like, no. So
Hilarious.
I
You're like,
got this
I'm an
one.
RPA. I do other things
Yeah,
too,
I'm an
but
art
not
department
head of the art
assistant, and
department.
I've done art departmenty things on smaller projects, and I have had some art director credits on shorts and small things. But I got a couple of emails from people who were new PAs that were just coming up, and they were saying, like blah 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 blah, great big giant like run-on lines of text that just went on and on and on and on. And I did this. Here's my resume. Here's some, and they just drop a bunch of photos and a thing, and I'm like, this is heavy. And I took the time to
Trying to
write them
convince.
back, and I said, oh, there must have been some kind of miscommunication. I'm just like breaking into the art world. If you want to learn more, get on here's this list, this list, this list. These people do classes and courses, these people hire PAs, and then this is like the film agency in your area that you should, get in contact with and send your resume to them.
And friends
Um,
in film.
yeah, and friends in film. I did send friends in film. Have you gotten any emails? I was curious about that.
I never, if they don't tell me that if they don't tell me, then I won't know. They'll just be on the
Oh,
list.
okay.
So they got to
Got
tell
it.
me. Maybe they will, but thank you.
No, friends in film was a big one. That was a
Yeah.
big, because it is all it boils down to a few simple truths, but you have to kind of be in it in order to get it. So I followed up with some of the production designers, and one of them goes, "Hey, I hear you have an application into, are you interested in joining the union? Instead of applying, why don't I'd hire you and we can get you a permit and work. And I have a film starting in Brooklyn. Can you work Brooklyn?" I went, "Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it." And funny enough, I had seen a movie recently called Fantasy Life. I went to a sort of early, release showing,
Hmm.
and the production designer was an art director for a production designer that I really liked and had worked with in the past. And I reached out to her
Hmm.
and I was like, "Oh my God, the opening shot when it was all chaos and he's like, sorting files, like that was so beautiful the way it was done." Yeah, yeah, yeah. And she wrote back like, "Oh, thank you so much for your kind words. I look forward to collaborating soon." And I was oh, and then turns out she is the art director on this tier two indie film that's coming up.
Oh,
And they want to hire me to be like their assistant art director, but it's a union thing, so I don't really know.
oh my
But I
God,
thought,
that's so great, dude. That's a
yeah.
breakthrough. Dude, this is a breakthrough.
Well, I sent out an email a couple days ago. I haven't heard anything back. I think they're
It
still waiting to
doesn't
hear.
matter. It doesn't matter whether you get it or not. This is coming
Yeah.
towards you.
So I said, okay, well, I got to stay close to Brooklyn in that case. So I reached out to some friends and I said, "Hey, anybody got any, jobs coming up? I'm trying to stay close to Brooklyn." Literally got a call the next day, got on a commercial shoot for Walmart. They needed a last minute deal, and the production designer, her name is Lana Farron. She goes by Lana Boy. She does ads that are just all over the place. She does cover shoots. She works with major celebrities. So jumped on, and then met her art director, set dresser.
And you worked
Started
as
jumping
what
in.
for them? Production?
Art department assistant, I think, was my official
Okay.
title, but the pay was really good because it was so last minute and it's an
How much?
advertisement. 550 plus kit a
Oh,
day.
they gave you a kit as a art
Yeah,
assistant?
I had to supply my own. So they threw in the kit fee because of what I ended up doing. They didn't
50
want
bucks or how
any,
much?
yeah, $50 a day.
Yeah, yeah. So 500 bucks a day. Okay, okay.
So the people, they didn't want their logos for the products to be shown because they wanted to add them in Photoshop later. So we had to kind of scramble to make packaging that was just blank. We were painting chip bags, and um, I ended up going to my kit and grabbing a bunch of stuff that ended up being super useful because they had the AI concept art of this like shopping basket full of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but set dresser and everybody, they were trying to make it work. It wasn't working, and I just ran down and had a big box of clear acrylic cubes that are just great because they are solid surfaces. They show light, but you can kind of get what's behind them a little bit. And so I just built the whole thing up like an Easter basket and put QRs and everything in the right places. And um, the client got so excited about what we were doing that we spent way too much time on that one shot.
Yeah.
But they were sending photos. There was a back and forth between the marketing team, the client, the producers. Everybody was very happy. Um, and I had to invent some packaging for water bottles out of like painter's plastic and saran wrap, and we had to do the same thing for like toilet paper. It was really simple. Anyways, I was just getting a text message literally from the exact same production designer. They're doing an editorial with Michelle Pfeiffer and Dakota Fanning on Monday, and they're like, "Hey, can you be available for this?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." So now I'm going to go do that, and then have a couple more jobs in Brooklyn. But
Why do
Alex,
you think, what is it? What do people say about you? What do you think it is? Because I mean, I'm getting some ideas here about what it is. Like, I've got to have John.
I didn't treat it like, oh, I really want to get on the shoot. I said, oh, it's a job. It's a job. Let's do a job. Show up on time, be professional, get things done. Um, and then just kind of, relax and hang out with good people. I
Yeah.
meshed really well with this crew in particular. There was something about it, just something to be said about working with people that you really like. It just kind of becomes effortless. I didn't say, oh, there's a better way to do this. Before I was like trying to hit things, like I was putting all my effort into doing like one thing,
Mm.
and then I was trying to like force it into existence. And now I'm taking that same amount of energy, but I'm going wide, and getting it's a lighter touch, but because it's wider, there's more opportunity. So the
Mm.
same people who did the Beat Bobby Flay have a new show called The Line, another cooking program. So I'm going to go on that for the second half of next week and be a
Great.
carpenter, art person, set dresser, another great paying job.
How much is that?
That's the 500 a day plus kit. They literally just asked me what my fee was. I said it's that because it was one project into the next, and I just, I'm like, this is good. Let's just keep it going. So, do you guys know the movie Train Dreams? Yeah, it was just at the Oscars a bunch. Alexander Schaller is the production assistant. When she before the movie came out, she gave a podcast with Apotheosis, which is like the production designers podcast. And she literally has a film coming up in New Jersey that she wants me to be her personal assistant on. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I sent her all of my stuff like last night at like, 10 p.m. Stayed up and made sure my resume was clean. And
Cool.
yeah, so she says she's going to be in touch real soon. And I said, yeah, even if it doesn't, let's grab coffee. It'd be great to connect.
This is
Um,
interesting. So what is her position on this film?
Production designer.
Okay, okay. Yeah. When you contacted her in Instagram, what did you say?
I heard your podcast. I saw the film. Train Dreams is amazing. I can't believe what you guys were able to do with all that natural light. It was so beautiful. I
Mm.
loved this little stained glass window detail. I loved the way that you guys incorporated real fire into lamps and candles. Like, it just it must have been a magical experience having everybody, come together and collaborate so perfectly like that. You have an amazing team, something like that.
Ooh.
And she was like, "Oh, thank you. Yeah." And then she was doing all these things. And then I'm doing a project right now that I was like, "Oh, I have a historical cabin that's based in the same time. Like, would love to take a look at your research." And she said, "Ah, absolutely." And she sent me a link to
That's it.
an interview that she had given where she'd like showed all of her research and stuff up on the wall. And I was like, "Oh, that's beautiful."
So was the interview that she had been doing for the job, or was it for something else, this interview?
Oh, it was a follow-up. She was doing all of these kind of podcasts. So it was, I think they said their budget was 1.3 for the 1.3 million for the whole project.
Yeah. How
And
much?
well, to be nominated for an Oscar, that's pretty good.
Oh, that's it is amazing that they did that for that little of a budget.
Yeah. They had a really great art team on that. And they had some interesting challenges that they were able to overcome in terms
Mm-hmm.
of they had to build a log cabin that burned down. They had to build a steam train. They had to get railroads. They had to get bridges. They had to get,
Mm.
um, you know, giant fake trees that they were going to cut down. Plus talent. Acting was amazing on that film. Um, Highly recommend everybody go see it on Netflix.
Very good. And then you reached out through Instagram and you started a really nice conversation. And then you contributed something that you had or your knowledge to show how just your level of thinking and what you can do or how you could be helpful in some way, maybe sometime in the future, who knows? And now she wants to work with you.
Yeah,
Great job. Great
yeah,
example, everybody. Love it. And yeah, it's a little bit more advanced because you have to be able to have the goods to be able to form that kind of relationship with somebody. Now, the interesting thing was you were trying to create these relationships when you first started, when you didn't have so much and didn't have much luck there. I remember that was, the devastating time. But because it was hard, because, you'd reach out and offer, and then they were like, you know, who are you? And now you have all of these jobs that you've done and all these people, and now you can reach out and be like, well, actually, it's completely different, right?
Yeah, there's something to be said, I think, about, definitely focusing on making friends as opposed to trying to
Yeah.
just get work out of people.
Yeah, yeah. And in the beginning, it's like we want to make friends. We don't just want to get work out of people, but we got to get started. So that's kind of why it's a dangerous time. I'm not saying this for you, but for everybody, it's just kind of a dangerous time when you're starting because you want so much, but all you have is your own promise of your own efforts, which that they still don't know you. I mean, they got to know you or have other people know you. So I think that it's really helpful with what we do in Friends and Film, just to get things started, get these friends going, get our feet wet, and go through all the mental stuff that we have to go through in order to be like, okay, I'm starting to get this now. Okay, I know how to show up now. I'm not trying to try too hard now. I'm not trying to convince people now, or try to be like, hey, I am part of this team. I am part of this team. And changes to, yeah, I'm part of this team.
Yeah, I don't know if this is actually true or not, but I've just sort of been keeping it as a philosophy in the back of my head. Uh, I heard somebody say once you have to meet somebody in the industry 3 times in a social setting before, in order for them to know you're not crazy.
Mm.
And so for me, I'm always like, it's always around the third interaction that it's like, oh, okay, like I kind of know who this person is a little bit. Um, I think it like trying to reach out and be, basically cold call somebody right off the bat is a little odd. Um, like I met people at this party where I'm like, oh, I saw you at this and I saw you at that, and you were at this
Yeah.
film festival and you were talking about that. And oh, here's that funny anecdote. I remembered you said it made me laugh really hard. Um,
Yeah.
and then they're like, yeah, you were there? Oh, that's so odd. Like I can't, you don't have to say like, oh yeah, I was checking tickets at the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Right. Exactly.
yeah, I was volunteering, but
Hmm.
yeah, going
Perfect.
well.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, your snowball's going, man. Yeah. And what I love about it also is you're finding since you're so into art, you're into art department, you're so into films, it's like you're obsessed with it. You're finding all these different ways that are interesting to you. And then now you can reach out with people and have success with it because you're out there. Everybody knows you. You're working a lot. Um, Also, I just wanted to tell you on the film sets why they're hiring you, in my opinion, is yeah, that guy, this is what I think that they're thinking. That guy, he's got our backs. That guy, he figures stuff out. That guy, he's got his tricks that can be very useful in the moment of need. He'll help us figure stuff out. I think that might be it because it's just so many times that you're like, well, there's a solution for that. There's a way to do this, and you do it. You have figured it out so many times. So that is a very, very valuable.
Yeah, I found that if somebody asks you to take care of a problem and you end up spending all of their time asking them questions about how to solve it, it kind of defeats the purpose of like giving it to somebody else. So anytime I can kind of go off and like, hey, this is a problem. Can you fix it? I'll be like, let me try, and then
Mm.
go away and then see what you can do. And sometimes you can just get it. Sometimes you can just, bring them a finished, it's like, here are 2 options. They're both okay. And they'll be like, this is great. This is fantastic. Like, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like doing pickups for me was like that was kind of a way to show that I was really reliable early on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when you go to like do art stuff, you need to get a lot of things. Sometimes it's we need to just show client surfaces on the day, like, and we need 15 surfaces picked up from 6 prop houses. And you go, yeah, got it. And you just, figure out a route and you schedule it and you go and you do it and you bring it all and it's good to go. And they don't have to worry about it then. It frees them, freeing them from having to think about like, oh, is this going to get done? Versus knowing it's like, oh, I can just give it to this person and know it's going to be taken care of.
Oh yeah, no, he will figure it out. He's got my back. He can be counted on. He's reliable and he can solve problems. And he knows to give two options. Okay, great. Thank you.
If you are ready to work in the film industry and you want to now take your career to that next level, go to friendsinfilm.com/join. You can learn our implementation system, and then you can even take it all the way by doing our flagship program, the Into the Industry program. It all starts with friendsinfilm.com/join. See you there.